Hey there, Cancer. So, just a general overview on how it's going to go. We're going to be doing just like in the last round of your guys' tarot readings, which is going to be your guys' generals using the Kipper deck. We're going to do your guys' love using the mystical medleys, your guys' career and finances using the Rider Waite Tarot deck, and then we're going to finally end off your guys' reading with the I Ching divination set. All right, so I pulled out two cards for you guys that I did. So make sure you guys get those two questions ready for the end of the reading, but you guys don't have to because I'm just going to read them out, whatever it says in the card, all right? So let's get started on your guys' generals. What is something that Cancer generally needs to know right now? Okay. Some of you guys are going to start seeing a person's true colors, is what I'm getting, which is really strange because the false person in reverse came up, but for some reason it's like I don't know why, but I feel like this person is gonna like own up to their mistakes or own up to the way how they were acting or like that they weren't treating you right. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in regard to like a love situation in order for me to say that. Some of you guys, there might have been a particular, if it doesn't even have to be in regarding to a love situation, all right? I'm just saying that because that's what I'm intuitively getting. But in general, what I am getting here is that there is somebody that regretted the way how they were acting around you. I'm not necessarily getting there to be lies per se. They could have, but I'm not getting them to be like very serious or deep kind of lies. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of a little bit like those white lies. And it's like they kind of put on a show for you, like a little bit for entertainment to like show that they have everything going for themselves, when in reality, things are not looking up as what it may appear. Like they might appear like everything is going well for them, that they don't have no financial issues, that their career and finances are doing good. I'm getting, especially in regarding to their like status in life in their career, they might make themselves out to be more than they actually are, or their job and their career is kind of what I'm getting. And it's like whether this person comes out and reveals the truth to you or not, I feel like you guys are eventually going to find out the truth somehow, one way or another. All right. It's like you're starting to see this person's mask finally dissipate. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys, there could be like a up levelment in your guys' connection. For those of you guys that are in a situationship, I see like a next connection there. For those of you guys, I typically don't do people that are already in relationships, but you guys can take this as a confirmation that things are, that you guys are with the right soulmate, the right partner, and I'm getting like you guys having a much more deeper bond, if that makes any sense, with your guys' connection, and it's not going to be something that you guys have to work so hard over, if that makes any sense. In general, though, I see you guys singles, whether you guys realize it or not. I'm seeing you guys being in a connection sooner or later. And the thing is, what's really going to surprise you about this connection is that it's not something you guys going to have to think about or work so hard for. It's not going to be those type of love situationships where you're going to have to literally do wait till the full moon and do your guys' love spell rituals, or figure out some love spells on how to attract them into your life, or how to seduce them, or search up on Wikipedia to see, it's some signs that they like you or not. No, this is not going to be, even you probably wouldn't even be focused on love. I'm getting some of you guys completely distracted from the idea of love, whether that's like through work. Some of you guys might literally be putting love like to the side and more so focused on work. And I'm getting during that process is when really love is going to start picking back up into your life. We did get the mature woman in the back of the deck. It doesn't have to be. I do not use sex or gender in regarding to my readings. I read energy mostly, so it could be somebody that's like an older feminine, but it doesn't have to be. That's just basic confirmation right there, if it makes any sense to you guys. All right. So, but mostly for those of you guys, just take it that it could be somebody that's about your age or older. All right. Let me see. Let's pull out another spread for you guys. Um, I've been saying this for a while now, Cancer, if you guys haven't noticed, but it's like your guys' worries are soon starting to fade away, especially in regarding to the person. Even though I already mentioned the fact that this person is gonna go and like show their ass off into the public basically and like be much more vulnerable this time with you. It's like for some reason it's wanting to reiterate that. So I'm guessing like that has some sort of major impact in your guys' life apparently. Some of you guys might have been stressing about this situation in before, or it's really had a huge toll or had an effect on you guys. Like some of you guys might have also had trouble like working due to this connection or this situation. And it's like some of you guys had no choice but to like just leave it as it is and like drop it even though there was unfinished business between you two. You know what I'm saying? But I see this person coming back in and they're gonna reveal some stuff. So basically, you guys are gonna get some sort of clarity out of this situation that, yeah, in the back of the deck, poverty, this person isn't what they appear to be, all right? Um, pulling out another spread for you guys. Be aware of an immature older person. I'm getting somebody that's much more older than you or could be like a father-like figure. I'm definitely getting a lot of masculine energy here with the mature man card. But to me, the fact that it came out in reverse is kind of telling me that this person, that even though they might represent as an older masculine figure, that they, because they're in reverse, it's telling me that they have not reached that potentiality. Like they, well, they could have the potentiality to become that wise uh person that people could look up to, but it's like instead they come out to be much more childish and they don't take things for granted, if you know what I'm saying. Be aware of somebody that could just be wasting your guys' time and money, and especially if they're using you. And I'm kind of getting the word laziness. Be careful of like an older masculine figure that is just like, I don't like, I have it in my head, but it's like super difficult for me to say it out. It's like they try to take advantage of you, you know what I'm saying? And like sometimes you may feel like that they try to purposely gaslight you, or like sometimes you may even have feelings like, oh, like they might also like try to come up with excuses saying like, oh, well, you know, I had some sort of issues at work or I'm not feeling well, when in reality it's because they're lazy, is kind of what I'm getting here, and they need a like a fire lit under their ass, is kind of what I'm getting here. Some of you guys with the imprisonment in reverse, some of you guys need to call this person out, because if you guys don't, I feel like this could be stuck into the situation, this whole entire loop, unless if you guys change the situation. So if that resonates with somebody that's like a friend, a lover, a family of any of yours, make sure that you guys let them know that, you know, they need to start doing something with their life, okay? Because whether you guys realize it or not, the fact that it came into your guys' energy is signifying that it is having some sort of effect on you. And it might sound strange, but sometimes friends may have an impact on you as well too. Believe me, it happens. All right. So make sure that you guys get that taken care of as well too. Well, let's go on to your guys' love now. Okay. The Fool reverse. Some of you guys are taking a break from love. I don't necessarily see you guys like from the original meaning where it's like you guys are afraid to take a risk. I'm more so getting kind of like, even though the Four Swords energy, like the card didn't pop up into my head, I was kind of getting like that energy where you guys are like kind of taking a break from love. Some of you guys could be focusing on yourself and improving your own looks, if that makes any sense. It's like you guys are starting to prioritize yourself first and starting to love yourself first. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh my God, that's not what the King of Wands represents. But you guys have to understand that this is what I'm getting intuitively, all right? Sometimes I get intuitive message that's might be completely different from what the actual meanings of the cards are. And look at that, Queen of Wands, King and Queen of Wands. You guys are focusing more so on yourself, and I'm getting this energy like the more that you guys, because you guys are focusing more so on yourself and you're starting to love yourself more and putting yourself first, you guys are attracting your guys' divine partner. We literally had the counterparts of fire and no, the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So you guys are meant to meet your guys' soulmate. Some of you guys, more specifically, like a fire sign or like a Leo with these two lions. What's really strange is some of you both could be Leos as well too, which I usually never get that message, but I felt like saying this. So some of you guys like you, and what I mean by Leos is like some of you guys could have like some sort of Leo in their chart, or some of you guys might also know like this person might also have a lot of Leo in their chart. It's like some of you guys like have some sort of similarities, or it could be like some sort of similarities in astrological in your guys' astrological chart, if that makes any sense. If it's not similarities, I'm getting compatibility. Like if you guys matched your guys' natal chart or something like that, you will notice that like most of your uh planets is like compatible with with this person's planets, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very strange and bizarre message, but that is what I'm getting. So literally the just when you guys least expected, the fact that you guys have completely not focused yourself on love is how you guys are literally attracting this your guys' partner. And I'm getting this to be a very good looking person, all right? So don't be thinking like, oh yeah, I don't want to end up with this hobo or somebody that looks like they haven't seen the light of day or whatever. Trust me, this is gonna be somebody worth it, all right? For those of you guys that are thinking about or have a specific person in mind, let me see. Some of you guys do not like the way how this person rolls. You know what I'm saying? It's like this person doesn't know how to make up their mind. They can't make a decision to save their life. It's like no matter how hard you try to persuade or like try to like you know that it's kind of reminding me that situation like especially in these old cartoons, which is funny because these are also like these old rubber hose cartoons, and I was also kind of getting that as well too. I don't exactly remember which one it was, but I think there was this rubber hose cartoon scene as well where it was like this one guy in a wagon and he's like holding a carrot in order to motivate the donkey to like move forward, right, and carry the wagon. That's literally the image in the picture that I was getting in my mind. So like it's like no matter how hard you try, and even though you try to dangle that carrot to like attract this person, it's like they just somehow can't budge. You know what I'm saying? They're like super stubborn. They just, they seem very distracted. They just seem all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Is kind of what I'm getting here. And even though they might not be admitting it, it's like some of you guys, like, it's really strange because even though I'm getting this feeling that even though they probably never even mentioned the fact that they probably had other options, it's like I still get this bit of confusion. And I hate to say this, but with the Seven of Cups, that's kind of telling me that they could possibly be thinking of like possibly looking at the to see if the grass is greener on the other side, possibly different options. So to me, that is kind of telling me that at one point they thought that you guys were probably not worth it for them, even though you gave something very valuable, something to start off with, something to, you gave them something that was firm and stable, but they like chose to ignore it. And by the time they realized it, it was like too late. You know what I'm saying? It's like by the time they started getting their ass moving, it was like already too late. You know what I'm saying? Which is really stupid. And it's like it took them like this huge ass distance for them to just now realize how special you are and how much feelings they have for you, which honestly I just think is just stupid and ridiculous. Let's go more into how they feel about you though, all right? I want to see if this person's feelings are genuine. Wow, so they've been hiding this attraction towards you for a very long time. I wouldn't be surprised if this person had I wouldn't be surprised if this person assumed that you guys had like love at first sight. And I don't typically believe in that stuff, but it's like that feeling, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's the kind of feeling that I'm getting that this person you're thinking about feels, where it's like love at first sight. It's kind of like that pure kind of love, you know what I'm saying? Not something that was so like superficial. You know what I'm saying? I want to let you guys know that no matter what, I have this feeling that I think you guys have done it for them. I think you guys have impacted them so much to the point where it's like, even if you guys were to move on, and even if things weren't gonna work out, that you would still be on their mind, or they would always think about, damn, that could have been the one person I could have spent the rest of my life with, or that could have been the person that I could have been happy with. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything in their life revolves around you. It's like nothing ever seems to go well unless you are involved in their life. And for me to say that, I'm also getting like there may be even times where they think about the possibilities of you, like what it would be like if you guys went out traveling, if you guys had a family, had kids, if you guys lived together, the things that you guys could have done, spending some quality time with one another. I mean, they thought about the whole entire thing with you. This person also loves your vulnerable and nurturing energy, and they really appreciate it. And I feel like because of that, that's what kind of lit a thunder like a fire under their ass to this realization that, you know what, this is somebody very special, and I am never gonna find somebody that's this sincere and genuine, and who has that courage to share their cup of love for me. You know what I'm saying? This Queen of Cups, she has so much water flowing in her cup that she doesn't even mind if she gives it out to others. That's how much love, integrity, and gratitude she has. And for that, she is very humble, which is also your guys' sign, right? So, that basically describing you guys. What are their next move towards you? Let's find out, right? They're scared to approach you. They feel like all hope is already lost with you two, that they have already effed it up to the point where there's no return. Six of Pentacles in reverse. I would even go as far as to say that you probably even intimidated them, or you gave them this kind of cold shoulder to the point where even they felt embarrassed, like deeply ashamed, guilty, and embarrassed. Look at that Two of Wands. Them covering and hiding themselves, feeling ashamed of what they've done. Because now all they can really do is just watch you from afar and see you succeed and all happy without them. They feel like that they don't deserve you and that you're better off with another person. They try to hide their feelings from you because they feel like, because of their major insecurities, and therefore they feel like you could be better off with another person. That's why they were refusing to talk to you. So for those of you guys that are wondering, if you guys ever get this sort of intuitive feeling that this person like somehow is always running constantly in your mind, you guys are not crazy. It's because of this person. This person, they feel this desire and they really want to communicate and talk to you. But because they feel like they effed it up so bad, they feel like it's already hit rock bottom and there's no way for them to, it's basically would be pointless for them to come back, because what are they gonna do? They can't really offer you anything, right? And they're too ashamed, too self-insecure, and probably very egotistic with that file, with a lot of that fire energy, right? Especially with the King of Wands in reverse. A lot of ego is involved in this. They have so much ego that they don't even want to go and admit it. You know what I'm saying? So at that moment, I feel like it's gonna go to a halt. But that doesn't say that they won't be admiring you from afar, right? Though I'm gonna go and figure out what the overall outcome is gonna be between you two, alright? Yeah, once again, mostly clarifying that there won't be a lot of communication. At least I'm not getting the type of communication that you guys might have had in the past. I see you guys both ending the situation and trying to ignore it. You guys are gonna, you both, what's really strange is not only are you going to, I feel like this is mutual. It's like not only are you leaving and trying to forget about the situation as if nothing ever happened between you two, but this person's also trying to do the same. Look at that. Five of Cups and Eight of Swords. You guys are choosing to ignore the situation even though it hurts you two very badly. You guys are both very guilty and upset about it, mostly them, but I feel like you also feel kind of guilty. I think you guys also pity this person because you know that there was some sort of possibility between you two. And this person, if only this person could have put in a little bit of more effort, is kind of what I'm getting here. Even though I don't see a lot of movement forward, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually this person wouldn't be able to take it anymore and comes back towards you, all right? So just be aware of that. But the decision is going to be in your hands, all right, Cancer, whether you want to take this person back or not. Because remember, like we told you, this person didn't prioritize you before, you know? So if they didn't prioritize you then before, why are they prioritizing you now? You see what I'm saying? Especially if there is some sort of confirmation here where, you know, they were having a wandering eye or two, right? So just something for you guys to think about because honestly, Cancers, I feel like you could. It's, I mean, going through your guys' kippers, it was talking about you guys potentially finding someone way better. So whether you guys choose to be with this person or not, I see a better option coming in for you anyways, right? And so speaking of which, let's go on to those of you guys that are single. So how will you guys know who this person is? This is not somebody that's in the limelight. I'm also getting this could also be somebody that you guys could potentially work with, which is a very strange message. I don't usually get that, but for some reason I was getting that intuitively. Especially if you guys both work like online together. If that makes any sense, I'm getting there being some sort of online connection, whether you guys work together in like an online or tech industry, or whether you guys like meet each other through online, like online dating apps or something like that, is kind of what I'm getting here. Let me see here. Let me clarify this card for a second. Some of you guys might be very suspicious of this person at first, and I clarified why in the Three of Wands. You guys will be afraid because you are gonna wonder like if it's even gonna go anywhere, if it's worth putting in the risk, right? Is kind of what I'm getting here. Especially if they have some sort of weird behaviors that might tick you off. But I mean, if it leads to a commitment, it is what it is, right? So I just feel like that it's mostly all in your guys' head, though, to be honest. I feel like, you know, eventually, like I mentioned and how I talk about it all the time, there's always going to be something you guys are not going to like about that person, whether they clip their toenails in their bed or whether, you know, they don't change their sheets when they're supposed to. You know, there's always going to be something you're not going to like about the person, all right? But this is just letting you guys know how you guys could possibly know who this person is. We are getting a lot of swords energy, so definitely I'm seeing like a lot of communication is going to be there between you two. So those of you guys that are wondering if communication might be a problem, I don't see that to be a problem. Mostly getting air signs, so be aware of that. They could be some sort of air sign or they could act like an air sign, all right? Is what I'm getting here. Really interesting, really interesting. When could you guys possibly meet this person? Six of Swords. I'm getting possibly 6 weeks or 6 months. So that's basically what I got for you guys. Hopefully that was helpful for you, all right? Let's go on to your guys's finances now. I did tell you guys that, I did kind of felt like it was going to be near in your guys' future, not something that's going to be far off. Because, I mean, when I pulled up your guys' kippers, I mean, it like was already pulling out these love cards and you guys being a commitment. So it's like already in your guys' energy at this point. You just have to wait for it to actually come in. So we have the Star card here. So, you guys accomplishing your guys' dreams, making something out of yourselves. Some of you guys could be taking a bit of a break during this time as well too, maybe going out traveling for vacations, especially since it's almost summertime, right? Then we also have the moon. We're going to clarify more into this. Let's see here. Wow. So, some of you guys, this might sound crazy, but some of you guys might have had. It's like, how do I put this? I feel like some of you guys, whether you guys might have remembered this or not, probably you guys might not remember this, but I don't know if you guys had some sort of like a dream or a wish that you guys always had where like especially those of you guys that were always in a low state when it came to your guys' finances, your guys' career or job. I'm mostly getting when it comes to your finances, like you guys are down and about, you guys weren't able to be stable, especially if you guys kind of like hit rock bottom or you guys started off from rock bottom, you know what I'm saying, from like a low income class, right? It's like some of you guys were like might have when you were younger always had that dream to always live in a fancy mansion or to have probably a very nice lifestyle, a lavish car, lavish things. And it's like now you guys are finally like pivoting towards your guys' dream, towards that wish, even if it was something that you guys made like 10 to 20 years ago. It's like even so that wish that you guys have, it's like I'm getting this feeling like it's still going into effect, and it's like basically telling you guys like that whatever that wish was, it was like the universe never forgot those wishes or those desires and those wants that you guys always wanted. And it's like basically like so if you guys ever notice like some sort of synchronicities or symbols of some sort of like a path opening up to you or where you feel like there's less of a burden when it comes to your finances, especially if what I'm telling you resonates with you. It's like, it's just like confirmation and letting you know that the universe, your guides and spirit, well, your spirit guides and ancestors, they have your guys' back and they've always listened to you and some of your guys' griefs and some of your guys' sorrows and things like that. And basically like, they heard your prayers is kind of what I'm getting here, which is really strange. I didn't even have to like lay out all the cards. This was all mostly actually pretty channeled. Let's go on to those of you guys that are in a job. Let's see how this is going for you guys. Um some of you guys could be getting a raise. I'm also seeing a possible promotion on the horizon. But basically, whatever it is that you guys are doing, as long as you guys keep up the hard work and you guys are staying diligent and balanced, I am seeing you guys like over the long haul getting some sort of potential raise or a promotion. I mean, I can't tell you exactly which is which. Some of you guys might even be able to climb higher in the ranks than you guys thought possible, right? Maybe you might be the one that's going to be the boss's manager, right? That's a possibility. So, I mean, I can't tell you anything else. It seems all too good, right? I mean, I don't want to add more cards because I don't want it to ruin it. So, yeah, I would just say keep up the diligent work. I feel like you guys are also doing great, and also make sure that you guys stay humble as well too. The 6 of Pentacles. why did I say Six of Pentacles? Some of you guys, teamwork might also have something to do with like your guys' coworkers in order for me to say that. What I meant to say was Six of Cups, right? Make sure you guys are always staying generous and humble, especially those of you guys where it's like you guys are kind of, maybe you guys are in like in a particular position where you guys, get where you're like a customer service rep and things like that. If you especially get like some sort of bonuses, or if you're like a waiter or waitress and you get like bonuses and tips for like your guys' good customer service and behavior, make sure you guys keep up with that, especially because I feel like you guys are going to be looked upon in a good light and people are going to start appreciating you more, right? So remember to always make sure you guys put your guys' customers first, all right? Is kind of what I'm getting here. What about for those of you guys that are self-employed? Um, let's see. Some of you guys are thinking about maybe you should go and rob a bank at this point. Not literally, I just mean that some of you guys might be thinking about taking a major risk. I'm not saying that you guys are, but it's in your guys' thought process whether you guys should. Some of you guys are afraid to take a risk though because you feel like that it might cause some sort of commotion or conflict, or you might have to do unnecessary work, or there will be too much things in your plate. What's really strange is it doesn't even have to be you guys putting your finances. For some reason, the way how I was getting it intuitively, it's like the amount of effort and work that you're investing into. It's like some of you guys are afraid to start any sort of new projects, any new events, or things like that because you guys are afraid that you guys possibly might not have time, or there will be so much stuff that you guys will be dealing with all at once. Is kind of what I'm getting here. Let's see here. What I want to tell you, Cancers, is if you guys are feeling this intuitive hit that this is already overwhelming you, then I would say immediately stop. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you guys should just, dump your guys' business or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, if you guys feel like that whatever you guys are doing isn't right, then maybe it's for a good reason, right? Because I feel like that in this sort of case where, you have to also thinking about your priorities, right? If you really feel like, because the way how I'm seeing it in this case, it's like you guys are doing so many things at once and it's like you almost barely have time for yourself. And it's like if you guys already in that particular situation as it is, like for example, if you're already a parent and if you have kids, if you already have one business where you do a 9 to 5 and then you do a side hustle and then you do another side hustle or whatever, right? I mean, that is a lot of work, right? And that takes up a lot of time. And plus, you have to also consider spending time with people that are close to you and also, investing some time for yourself to take a break, right? If you guys are feeling already pretty much exhausted at what you guys are doing, maybe that's kind of a sign that maybe you guys should probably try out something else that fits a little bit like in your guys' level. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you guys shouldn't start a business or whatever, but maybe start off with something a little bit much more diligent and easy. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you guys are making a project or whatever or starting something new, it doesn't always have to be something big or something that has to have like a grand opening with a neon sign. Everyone always feels like, especially in this kind of generation, that everything has to be blatantly like, blinding you with all of these advertisements or all of the superficial things of the business nowadays, right? But really, that's all unnecessary because usually most of the best businesses actually started from the lowest. And that's how they learn their way from the top, from starting from the bottom, right? But it's also really important to think about yourself, your guys' health as well too, and uh, think about what you guys are capable of, right? I mean, if you guys are dealing with so much already, you guys aren't like a superhero where you can just do everything at once, right? You have to also understand that you're human and that, it's okay to work things one baby step at a time, right? Is what I'm getting here. So just basically work at your guys' own pace and whatever feels right and good to you. If you guys are already feeling that you guys are stressed out, maybe that's a sign for you guys to kind of take a step back or maybe try out something different, right? So let's go on to those of you guys that are unemployed. Let's see how that's going for you guys. For those of you guys, if you feel like you guys are having no luck when it comes to jobs, I would really highly suggest considering you guys doing something completely a little bit out of your comfort zone. I mean, we're pulling up two cards that kind of represents unconventionality. Literally, Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot, two symbolisms of what? Traveling, right? Some of you guys might also want to go out and try something a little bit farther away from where you guys usually work at. Maybe like instead of choosing the type of jobs that you usually give like from around the neighborhood, maybe considering on some sort of jobs that are like possibly online, right? Or something like that. For some reason, I'm also getting like cars. Some of you guys could be working as like taxis, Ubers, or Lyfts. That one also pops up to me. I mean, it's a good side hustle if you guys are considering that. Is kind of what I'm getting here. So for those of you guys, I do see you guys potentially getting a new job is kind of what I'm seeing here. But make sure that, if you guys are doing so, make sure you guys are putting obviously nurturing it and putting in as much effort as you guys can as well too. Some of you guys also might also be much more for those of you guys that are wondering what would possibly be a good job for you guys, probably like a travel agent or something regarding to traveling might also be something very significant is kind of what I'm getting here. Or maybe the type of a job that you guys are gonna be in, it has something to do with traveling. Like maybe you guys actually end up becoming a CEO and you're required to travel or whatever, right? Is kind of what I'm getting here. Just an example, it doesn't exactly have to be that. Um, let's see here. Going on to your guys' finances now. Let's see. Some of you guys could be taking unconventional ways or taking an unconventional way when it comes to your guys' money. Wow. I think you guys are starting to actually take a risk when it comes to your money. You know, I think it's a huge step up because I mean, if you think about it, most of the people that are rich nowadays, most of the time they put all their money in their investment in their investments and things like that. They don't put so much when it comes to like their savings account and bank account. And that's exactly the kind of image that I'm getting with you guys. It's like you guys are learning to kind of risk it all. And as a result of it, look at that, 10 of Pentacles. You guys are gaining literally generational wealth, something that you guys will never have to like, you will never have to think about poverty ever again. You guys will live a happy rent-free life basically. And I feel like that for those of you guys that are considering about maybe investing your guys' money, right? I feel like that would be a great option for you guys. And if you guys haven't thought about it already, basically this is your guys' reminder that maybe considering this path might be something good for you. Now, I'm not saying you guys should completely like put all your guys' money into one, platform or whatever, right? But just start off something small, and if it works, right? If you're getting some sort of results, then yeah, you can add more and more over time, right? And like I said, it's you don't always have to put everything in one pocket, right? Just step by step. And I feel like with those little steps, by the end of your guys' retirement, I mean, you can make about $1 million from there, right? So I feel like that's pretty good. So basically, any kind of unconventional ways where you guys can save money would be really helpful for you guys and for your guys' future is kind of what I'm getting here, right? And if you guys haven't already thought about it, maybe consider doing it. You know, is kind of what I'm getting here. Let's go on to your guys' I Ching divination set now, all right? So hopefully you guys have those two questions ready. If you guys haven't, then forever hold your peace, all right? That was just a joke. You guys don't actually have to have questions. Um, I'm just gonna be able. I will just read whatever it says on the card. All right. So for the first card, for those of you guys that have question number one, it says 20, a great exceeding the rich pull warps, fruitful to have a direction to go and creating success. So basically, like, not everything is literally taken into literally. Some of it could be, but we're talking about, like, China. This is based off of Chinese ancient scripts from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So most of the things that they're saying here probably will not make sense. All right. But basically, the when it's saying the rich pull warps, to me, what that is telling me is like you guys are finally wrapping things up. Things are gonna start progressing, and you're gonna start seeing results. And fruitful to have a direction to go, meaning that whatever path you guys are in, the universe will be behind you. Your spirit guides will be there along the way, and creating success. You guys are meant to have success, basically. All right. And then in the back of the card, it says, when you exceed something, you cross over a line and make a transition. This brings stress, but also greatness of spirit and purpose beyond the scope of the situation. Things cannot hold up as they are, like the ritual of the traditional Chinese house, so there must be movement. Reach out imaginatively and explore. And then it also has some questions for you guys to think about. What is overloaded? What have you outgrown? And what must you do? So yeah, a little bit of something's wrapping up and you guys stepping into a new era in your guys' life, basically. So that is beautiful, right? And then for number two, we have 34, which says great vigor, constancy bears fruit, meaning that as long as you guys stay consistent, you're bound to be fruitful, basically. I mean, I don't know any else to basically describe it, right? And then in the back it says, with great vigor, you stand upright and robust, full of resilient energy, inspired and animated by strong purpose. You're ready to wield your strength like a hero. To yield results, you will need to act with steadiness and consistency, standing in your strength but without mistaking it for omnipotence. And then some of the questions for you guys to think about: how will you use your power and where do you stand? All right. So know that you guys are very powerful and you guys are capable. And then whatever it is that you guys are doing, make sure you guys do it with strength, vigor, and with conviction. Right. So don't be afraid to speak your guys' truth out and what your heart tells you. Right. Is basically what it says. So hopefully that was really helpful for you cancers and you guys liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, take care.